So hello everyone. Welcome back to my very small YouTube channel about knitting. My name is Isabelle. I am in France. I have 3 sons and 3 cats. If you've watched episode number 100, you know why it's related. And I'm filming these videos in English because I miss my English so very much. I used to live in the United States over 32 years ago, and I don't have that many opportunities to practice my English any longer, so you are my own excuse and opportunity to do so about once a week. Today it's going to be another special episode about my knitting adventures, because if you have seen my previous episode, and I will link it in the card up there and also in the description box down below. If you've seen that video, you have seen that I've asked for your help to decide on the way I'm going to be casting on a pattern. So today it's going to be the results of this advice you've given to me. And also I said we were going to play, and if you were able to guess which pattern I was talking about based on my swatches, I would offer it to you. I don't want to say the name that I'm going to write down on the screen here, because it attracts many different accounts or spam accounts or things like that. Anyway, no one has guessed. Disclaimer, if you've read the comments, you've seen that no one has guessed. So I'm just gonna, I have done that already, run a random number generator in my spreadsheet, and it went onto one account that will win the pattern, and if you don't like the pattern, we'll exchange, and maybe I can get you a pattern that I've already knit. And if this program sounds good to you, please stay tuned. Okay, first, what am I wearing? You've seen it recently already. It's my little sherbet bandana that I knit totally off gauge with yarn Frédéric from Atelier Pure Laine gave me. She gave me a 50-gram skein of yarn because this yarn had a problem and she wanted me to test it out. So it was completely off gauge. The sherbet bandana by Lambent Kid is a free pattern, so it was very easy for me to go from their bulky, I guess, or super bulky gauge to my fingering gauge, and just use the way the bandana is constructed from one end to the other end. And I've been wearing it almost non-stop because we have a very unpredictable weather. Let's say it like that. We had heavy storms, hot days. So this one goes into my bag. You can ball it up and you take it out whenever you need it. It just looks perfectly fine. And I'm wearing a linen dress by Non-Perfect Linen. And I will also link them down below because it's a woman company from Eastern Europe. Each time I say that, and I never recall which country they are from, I will link it also down below, or I will link their website. And I do recommend them because it's linen, 100% linen, woman-owned company. And I had a problem with that dress and a blue one that either you have already seen or you will see quite soon, because I filmed several videos right now in the last few days. So I had a problem with the sizing, and they exchanged them. No problem. They were really nice, and I heavily recommend them. Okay, now that I had asked you which swatch you would you were preferring. If you have not seen my video, I have swatched two versions of this stitch pattern for a pattern I wanted to cast on. The first swatch was with the darker background and the lighter stitch motif. And the other swatch was with the lighter background and the darker stitch motif. Both on it, of course, with the same yarn, and it's the two cones I have from Laine à l'Ouest. The creamy white undyed one is Accroche Cœur, and the darker one, which is also undyed and made of different fleeces, colored fleeces from their flock, is called Fleur de Sel. Both of them are advertised as sports weight. I'm not sure I can knit them at a sports weight gauge because I'm knitting them at a 19 stitch gauge on 100% stockinette. So before I unravel my swatch, I will check my gauge with the stitch motif. So as I said, no one had guessed which pattern I was talking about. So I'm going to first tell you which pattern I was talking about, and I thought I had my book right next to me. It's next to me on the table, but it's a little further away. Okay, so the lovely one of you who knows about which pattern I was talking about, and you did well. You contacted me privately on Instagram, and she's the one who offered me the Marianne Isayer book, A Knitting Life, back to first. I'm not sure. It's about a place she was from and went back. So there is a whole story in that book that you can read. It's not only a pattern book. You have lots of information about the Isayer company and their story and everything. And the lovely one of you who's offered this book to me also gave me yarn, and I knit the little hood with it. And when I was browsing through the book one day, it clicked. I had seen the pattern. I had, marked it because I wanted to make it, but not necessarily right now. But it clicked, and I said, okay, I want to knit with both of my yarn from Normandy, the yarn from Laine à l'Ouest. And the pattern I discovered after I had a look, because maybe I had seen it and I had forgotten about. You already had knitted that pattern. So I'm just going to show you the pictures from the book, and once I've the book down, I'll prop pictures on the screen because it's much easier for you to have a look. It's Barbara, a sweater pattern that has this stitch motif that I had been swatching for, and a very, very particular construction. You start either from the back, or it's knitted flat, either from the back or from the front. I'm not sure I recall, but it doesn't have any importance. So you need, let's say, the back. You increase stitches on the side for the sleeves, and I haven't read through, and I guess you make the head opening and the collar. And then you knit the other part of the sleeve and the front, let's say, and then you seam all that together. A very, very beautiful sweater that looks nice, and Peluche is here, and I'm gonna stop to open to her. I will tell you a story about her at the end of the video, and I've been quite worried about her. Okay, with all these interruptions, I'm not sure I recall what I have said or not said, but anyway, I discovered that you had already knit the pattern, and I was so happy that this pattern clicked. Maybe I had seen it and it was in the back of my mind, and I said, in some way I am going to twin with her or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the Barbara sweater by Isayer. And I asked your advice because once I had swatched, so maybe you can see it that way or that way, that's the right way to see the pattern. Once I had swatched, I was so totally undecided about what I was going to be doing. So I asked for your advice, and you've answered. 32 or 33 of you have answered. And if I am honest, I am honest, and you can verify it. They were, let me check I have my spreadsheet here. They were, 14 of you said the darker background, that you would prefer the darker background, and 16 of you said you would prefer the lighter background. And I was almost decided already for the darker background. I have to say that the most comments about it would suit my complexion or hair colors better with a darker background. These ones were the most important one in terms of the most numerous ones. Even though most of you, or at least 3 more of you, preferred with a lighter background. There is one other thing that I agree with. I think the stitch motif shows better on the darker background than on the lighter background. You see most of the background, one of you has said that. You see most of the background when the background is light, and you see both of the background and the stitch pattern when this is on the dark one. And that I agree too, and this is also why I did not want to give you the pattern name, because I wanted your honest opinion. Now, if I recall a few years back, my city had a consultation for us on some point. There was a massive response by people who did not want that particular thing, and they did it anyway. So I was very disappointed, because I was thinking, well, they ask me for my advice, I give them my advice, and they do however they want to be doing anyway. So even though, don't be mad at me, and don't be sorry, and don't be sad, even though more of you went for the clearer background. I haven't cast it on yet, but I think I will cast on with a darker background for all these reasons. First, you see the stitch motif better. And I think if I am going to be having this stitch motif all over a sweater, and it's not difficult, but it's not quite easy. So you have to pay attention, and there is quite a lot of work in it. I think I would like the stitch motif to show better. And I think, and I agree with the one who said it shows better on the darker background. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason it should suit me better and my colors better. I kind of agree with that, even though I have made the Hemsworth, I was looking for the name, the Hemsworth vest, all in the creamy white, and I think it's fine too. But I think I prefer the way the stitch motif shows on the darker background. So don't be mad at me, because I think I'm going to cast on with a darker background. You all have helped me think about this. You've given me several ideas to be pondering upon and make my own decisions. So all of you who have answered have helped me go through that decision process and decide. In the end, I prefer the way the original sweater looks like with the darker background. That said, we can now move to the fun part of it with the little game we had playing. And so when I run my number generator, I can show you the formula. The way the formula is called is run between X and Y. So I ran that number, and all of the results were from 1 to 32. And the winner is Lorian. Let me make that bigger. 06897. And Lorian, I'm quite happy. The number, showed you, because first, Lorian has commented quite a bit on my videos, and I had not said you would be subscribed, because I have ways to find who's subscribed and not subscribed to my channel, and I don't want to be spending time on that, but I know Lorian is, so that's a good thing. And if you're not subscribed, who you are listening, the one of you who are listening and watching and not subscribed, please do. And Lorian, what also I liked, and it's a total chance, I liked your comment. And your comment said, I think you cannot go wrong. Yes, of course I cannot go wrong. I like the subtlety of the light background and the dynamic appeal of the dark. Which one is more prevalent in your current wardrobe? And I answered, I thank her or thank Lorian, and I said both options would go well with the rest of my wardrobe. I like the dark background best, so that was 5 days ago. And that may be an opportunity to knit the same pattern an additional time. Maybe I can knit it twice, one with the dark, one with the light background. Although I don't quite like knitting the same pattern twice. But anyway, so it was a good thing because Lorian gave input without really choosing, and you are subscribed to my channel. I know because you comment on a regular basis. So Lorian, please contact me either on Ravelry, either on Instagram, or on my email, and all of that. There is a Linktree link on my description down below that you can click and go there and find my different accounts on the different social medias. And my email is also in the advanced or contact form on the channel. You have a tab on your right where it says about. I think it says about. Yeah, it says about, and there is a hidden email. But if you are connected, you can click on it and it shows my email. And total disclaimer, it's my first name dot my last name .gmail.com. And my computer fans are making some noises, so I'm going to stop here for just this noise to stop. Okay, so my computer fans are more quiet now. So yes, I'm so very happy that I had this idea of this little game. And Lorian, if you do not like the Barbara pattern, please go through my project page on Ravelry and pick one of the patterns I've knit. Some of them are not available. They are only in books, so maybe we can arrange something, but I hope you will like the Barbara pattern by itself. So yes, I'm so very happy I asked. I'm very happy you helped me settle my mind and make up my decision. And it's a nice experience, as the nicest ones, the type of ones we can have on social media and YouTube, where you can feel the presence of the community. And of course, this is why I'm doing all of this because I like to feel your own presence in a distance. And I like when we have interactions. So now that I'm decided, I thank every one of you who've watched the video, who've liked the video, who've commented on the video, and all the other ones of you who've not done any of that. I will move to a more life update type of segment now. So if you're not interested, you are more than welcome to skip that part. And I thank you very much for being here with me. I hope you are able to place joy and happiness into your life every day. And I will see you next time. Okay, life updates. As I had said, Peluche has been on my mind a lot. You will have the video number 100 where we had a Q&A and I talked about all my cats. I'm not sure what happened. Yesterday, I left the house several times. I went to work in the morning and I had a doctor appointment later in the afternoon. So I went back home. They were home. I'm not letting them out when I'm not here, and you know why. So the three of them were home. Everything was normal. I gave them little snacks and cuddles and things, and I went to my appointment in my village. So I walked there, had my appointment, went to get another appointment to get some physiological therapy, whatever. If you're interested, I talk about that another time. And went back home. So maybe I was gone an hour, at most an hour and 15 minutes. This is something usual. They are used to that and whatever. When I went back home, usually when I come back home, even though I've not been gone for a long time, I give them a little snack. So they know. So when I come back home, they all come to me and they come meowing around their little plates where I put the little snacks, because I have other bigger plates where they have their favorite dry food and water and whatever. So Onyx and Ramses came to me, the two youngest ones, the two boys came to me asking for their snack, and were all, as usual. And she wasn't there. Peluche wasn't there. So I gave them snacks, and it's not usual because she's the one asking for snacks and coming back asking for snacks and coming back asking for snacks, saying, well, you're just coming back home, or I just come in the house, so you need to give me a snack. I haven't had any before. And she did not come. So I said, okay, she's sleeping somewhere, whatever, she will come. And so I arranged dinner and some things like that. And maybe an hour or 2 hours later, I was thinking, I haven't seen her. Where is she? Because I knew she was, I started to doubt. I knew she was in the house. Did she escape in somewhere and I did not see her escape and she's outside? And she doesn't usually stay outside long now, maybe 5-10 minutes, no more. So I looked for her and I looked everywhere and I could not find her. But there are some little sneaky places where they can hide and they are used to hiding. So I wasn't going to go on all fours and look for them and look for her. So I said, okay, when she's ready, she's going to come and ask for a snack. But she wasn't, and it was not normal at all. So I finally decided I'm going to go and, really look for her. So I found her under a couch upstairs where the kids were used to sit and play the Xbox and play video games. And thing is that on that couch there is a cover that covers the couch all around, and she was under that, and she was all cramped up, all like that, and she was not moving. So I said, okay, are you injured? Or I tried to touch her. So she went, she allowed me to touch her, but she moved further away. So I said, okay, something happened. She's not normal. She's all scared. Something happened. And I said, okay, maybe they had a fight. So I had not been finding any hair, unusual hair in the house. Usually, when they fight, you have one piece of hair that belongs to the one who was losing, and it's usually Ramses. He usually provokes them, and then he loses the fight every time. But there were no unusual hair patches anywhere, hair pile anywhere. And so I said, okay, I know where she is now. Let's wait for a bit. So I had dinner and she was still not coming out. So I went upstairs and she was on the border, inside, under the couch, on the border. So I grabbed her. She wasn't quite easy to be grabbed, but I said, okay, if she's injured and I grab her, she will fight for me to let her go, and I will know she's injured and I need to go to the vet and everything. But she was not fighting. She was stressed and she was very tense. And in my arms, none of my cats really like to be in the arms. Ramses is the one jumping on my knees when I knit and everything. Sometimes Onyx does it and sometimes Peluche does it, but I don't carry them around. So she was not fighting, but she was very stressed out, and her tail was, going from left to right in a way, and her ears were very straight, and she was scanning all around, and she was extremely stressed. So I said, okay, if they had a fight, so I closed, there is one door that separates the house between that big room where I am right now and all the bedrooms and upstairs for the kids, so that when they were small we could have friends here for dinner, and they would sleep upstairs and the noise would not go to them or bother them too much. So I shut that door, which has an insulation and everything. I shut that door, and so the two other ones were on the other side, and I said, okay, I'm gonna let you now because you haven't eaten, so maybe you want to be quiet and eat. She was not quiet at all. She was moving around. Her tail was going left from right, and she was extremely stressed out. She ate my little snack that I gave her, and the two other one on the other side were, I want to, but I did not let them in. So I spent the evening knitting, and whenever with her, with the door shut, and she was moving around, and at the end she finally sat beside me and she stayed there. So once she was a bit quieter and it was time for me to go to bed, I opened the door because I had figured out it was not a fight between all of the three of them. I did not think so, because at some point Onyx went past her when she was under the couch and she did not show any fear or aggressive behavior. So I don't think it was Onyx. So I think it was something that happened, maybe outside, maybe something that stressed her out, that induced a very high fear into her and not into the other ones, because the two other ones are perfectly fine and normal. She came to sleep with me last night. I woke up at some point and went to the bathroom, and usually she comes to the bathroom with me. Two of them come to Onyx, and Peluche and Ramses have to be with me in the bathroom. Okay, and so she did not come. She sat outside of the bathroom and she waited, and when I went back into bed, she did not come with me. And so we are past, what time is it? It's almost 2:00, because I had lots of boo-boos this morning with my work. I did work long hours for nothing. It all went bad. Anyway, I have to do it again. But what my plan was to film this video just before lunch, have lunch, and then edit it tonight to have it posted tomorrow. Tomorrow will be on the 14th of July, our national holiday in France. And but I don't want to be filming and posting on the same day. It's too stressful for me. So, but it's so late, I haven't had lunch yet. But she finally, at the end of this morning, started to behave like herself once again. So going from one window to the other, and she sat on her favorite spot. And just before I started the video, she asked out. I let her out because I figured if she's asking out, it's that she's feeling a bit better. So she came back not long after that. And she ate my little snack this morning. So 24 hours almost before she went back to normal, I have no idea what happened. She's not injured. She's eating, and I think she wasn't eating at all because she was so stressed out. And now she's calming down, and the three of them are in the house. So yeah, I'm gonna be having a lunch now, and I'm gonna edit the video tonight. I'm gonna fix all my work problems this afternoon. It's with a software. Something happened, so either I made a boo-boo or a boo-boo happened. But it's strange enough to me that I'm gonna file a help request with the software company because maybe I did something wrong. It was not intentional, so I do not know what I did. And I lost all my work. 3 hours of work, I was kind of pissed. I had backups, and the backups are not from within the application, and I can't restore them. So they are in no data land, I guess, because I can see the file, but I can't do anything with them. Kind of bumped, and so I will file a complaint with the software editor, and I will do this work again. I will do it again. So be it. So yes, so thank you for listening to all of my ramblings. I'll be editing this video tonight. I'll be posting it tomorrow on Friday the 14th of July. And yeah, I thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you very much for interacting with my previous video and answering my questions. I do appreciate you did that, and it helped me a lot decide which swatch I was going to be using. And yes, I hope that all my little stitches and all your little stitches are bringing you joy and happiness into your life, because it's not going to be coming all by itself. We do have to actively work on that, and so that if we can place joy and happiness in our life, at least a little bit, at least once a day, it helps brighten maybe our dark days and our sad days or our sick days. And yes, I thank you very much for being here with me, and I will see you next time.